us today?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Well, I can indeed, yeah. And you've your slides all ready to rock and roll. So over to you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. You already answered, I think, the most used question in the world these days since Corona. Can you see my screen? So thank you for your assistance. So I'm glad to be here today and to talk about automation. And I think that what we're going to cover today is going to take us straight from the last question that somebody put out, and let's talk. So automation in SysAid, we have always a funny approach to everything. So we're going to talk about automation from a higher level, from the experience level. In SysAid, we are taking the approach of automation. It means that as Bart Simpson, we don't want to be left behind. So anything that we're going to cover today is going to be under the assumption of what we really don't want to do over and over again in IT. So that the agenda, we're going to talk about automation, hype versus reality, because you can't go into almost any tool these days in IT without hearing the word automation or AI. We're going to share a little bit some best practices of customer success story. I'm going to ask you a few questions in order to make it interesting. And then we're going to share best practices, and if we will have time, Q&A. So let's dive straight in. So automation, I know when you're hearing the word automation, I've been here through the last session, I think everybody's thinking about wars and machines going to kill people, and they're going someday to replace us. So I think we're quite a while from there, and automation in reality, in the way we are approaching it, is that it's all about customer experience. I'm going to use Amazon in order to explain the concept. I really think that automation is here to help us in regards to customization, for example. Another term that was used in the previous session, we became, as IT, part of the customer experience. End users are expecting to get a B2C experience in the B2B environment and automation. The first thing that we are going to, when we recommend our customer to implement it in their day-to-day, is how can we provide a good user experience. To take the concept of AWS, which what we wanted to emphasize here, for example, is the way they are automated a process of a shipment, and we will take it to IT. The first thing that we want to do is automate the customer journey, the incidents journey. The first thing that we want to do is making sure when all the traffic, all the incidents, all the services that are coming in are going to be put in front of the right person in the right time, because fast service communication is the biggest key component in providing a good experience. Think about it when you're purchasing anything and reflected on when we are answering or addressing an incident. So let's talk about customer experience. When I'm saying customer, I'm talking about our end users. So our customers in SysAid, I'm sharing a little bit what our great community has to say. We are doing a survey of our customers every year. In December 2021, our customers let us know that the first goal for them is to automate. And if we are going to look at it at 2020, automation is a hype experience. We shared here the 4 top priorities that our customers selected for their goals of achievement in 2020 and 2021. We have about more than 1,000 of our customers that participated in the survey, and you can see that if automation was number 2 in 2020, it became number 1 in 2021. Holly, can you share the question on the poll, please?
That's great. Now, hopefully our viewers can see that. And what we normally do with these is I'll sort of jump in and support it if that's okay with you, Sarah. So you can see the question there, guys. Everybody, all our listeners, if you could just select one of those, we'll give it a little bit of time for that to populate. We've got 36%, 39% now voted, so we'll leave that open a little bit more. If you could get engaged on, would be fantastic. If we can get anywhere near 70% plus, that would be great. So keep on clicking. We're up to 65% almost. So we give that another 10 or 15 seconds to go, and we're away. Thank you for everybody for clicking. And there we go.
Yeah. So what we ask is if it is your number one, goal as well, and I can see per the result, it is your number. If 60% are saying it's their number one goal. I just wanted to show that, of course, you're here and it's your number one goal, but I've been surprised in other speaking engagement that people came just to be interested. So this actually resonates with you, and it's so that was the question. And can you launch the other one? This is the second question. If you had a magic wand, what would you put? What would you use the magic for? What would you automate first?
Excellent, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, 60% was very high there, wasn't it? So same thing with this one then, everyone. We're up to 6%, so we need a little bit of effort, a little bit of work late on the day from our listeners to get the numbers on this one. So we'll encourage them.
Exercise, David.
It is. It's mental and physical exercise, isn't it? You're absolutely right. So we're up to we're almost 30%. So if we could, our listeners could keep selecting, and we'll try again and get up to around about the 70 mark. We're up to almost 40%. We'll keep asking our listeners to click, and we'll give that another 10 seconds maybe. We're up to 50%, which isn't too bad. It could have been a little bit better, but not too bad. And there we go. We'll go with that. We're up to 55%. Let's close that one there, please, Holly. Thank you.
Onboarding, good. And by the way, it's also what we experience with the customer. Onboarding, offboarding is usually the most common processes that people want to automate. If I will connect it to how I started the presentation, this is really the best example for customer experience and stuff that IT really don't want to do. Usually require the same low repetitive tasks. A good experience means that we will be able to provide a good experience to the organization because we are going to automate the process. Once somebody approves or it go through the chain of approval, it will automatically launch. So the two, I use that in order to connect the two things that I was talking about, fast and a good experience, which means that we are letting go and making the organization move on its own path and to be outside of that, and that would take me. It's going to be a quick win for everybody. David, can you put the presentation back on? Thank you. So, what would you like to automate today? How I'm really recommending our customers to start with. We have two concepts, which is ticket automation and task automation. Ticket automation, usually when I said that there is stuff that we really don't want to do, is, for example, all the notification, updating your customers on tickets, sharing information, news, blast, and so on. Just think about it. If you had to do it day to day, if Amazon had to send or let somebody do it day in, day out, updating where the ticket or the shipment is, they would not, nobody would really want to do it. So we call it ticket automation, getting the ticket to the right place, making sure the end user is updated. And this is the first automation that we recommend our customers to start with. The second one is task automation, is where we are connecting the service or the ticket to actually script and orchestration, we call it, and we call it task automation. two concepts. And just to put a little bit of content to those two concepts, we have in the task automation, we've got all the escalation, due date, prioritize, timers operating, when is the person coming into work, where he's not, dynamic form, automatic reminder, everything that if you would think somebody would have to do it, let the customer know, remind you to do something. This is the first priority that we sit with our customer. The all result of ticket automation is to reduce MTTR. And then task automation is everything that you can orchestrate as per the last presentation is all the processes that are connected in the end, any kind of script like onboarding, offboarding. Why to automate? I'm going to share two customer success story. Aspen Pharma is a healthcare organization located in Ireland. Together with the two main ventures that we did, ticket automation and task automation, we helped them reduce 820 tickets over a governance control, which is access control. They are a healthcare organization. They need to understand who is seeing what. That was a huge task on IT. And that 800 tickets per year was just for one shared file driver. So you can understand that the impact was much, much higher. And then again, just taking all the things and tying together. Nobody wanted to do it. User experience usually got tied in the process approval, and with the ticket automation, making the right kind of notification to processes that are stuck, letting the user know where in the process exactly it is, and the ability to run it hands-free from the IT, provided the organization a good experience. You can see here the quote from Ian, with his own words, representing the success story that we are able to do based on those two basic understandings. For me, I'm not an English native speaker, so it's really like a speed test in English to finish on time. So I'm going to wrap up with 5 steps to success. Automation is understanding automation and what works from your organization is the first key to success. You need to understand what is the quick win you can do for your organization, and then I set up here in the presentation 5 steps that you can work towards in order to making sure that implementing automation and orchestration in your organization is a success. The first step is any kind of dispatching manual email, get it out of the way. Second is notification, anything that you can automate and you can send and you can set it part of the end user experience will be your second part in any incident, in any process. The third one, recognize what is frequently asked of you. Run a basic report that will identify your most common incidents and requests. The fourth step is, of course, to use most common processes and workflow. In SysAid, you have out of the box. And the fifth is measure your success, because in requiring of doing any kind of investment in automation, you should go back and show success. Well, I did it. So, any questions?
That's great. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Yeah, we've got one come through, I think. Let me just have a quick look. I'll come to that in a second. Again, listeners, if you've got a question for Sarah, please use the console and post them. Those little points at the end there, the 5 steps, I think they're really important, obviously, and it'd be good just to maybe to look at those again. And certainly when we talk about quick wins, and when we talk about the long term as well, I think you're right in what you said at the end there about measuring success. So I'm really interested to understand what you think from an industry position, from a supplier position, when you take an organization through these steps. How would you advise an organization to measure the success? What would you measure, and how would they see the sort of return in automation? How would you measure that?
In SysAid, we really are taking always a practical approach, and understanding the success is a key factor of success between us and our customer. Usually our KPIs is also measured in the system. We tie everything to MTTR, which is mean time to repair. We are measuring it from the minute the tickets land in SysAid systems until the journey is ended. Usually we recommend a customer verification when we run a survey and making sure that the service is satisfied. We are tying those two measurements together. We want to see in reduction in time, handling of tickets, and that the satisfaction of customers do not degrade.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. And how often would you do that? And I suppose it's about the before and after, isn't it? So you look at the mean time to resolve and satisfaction. So would you sort of look to make a benchmark of that in an organization before you started to look at what was, what you could automate, and maybe over time then look at, the performance of what's being automated against the benchmark? Is that the way that you'd look to maybe do it?
Yes, that's absolutely how we are using it. We are also usually provide statistics and information from customers that are in the same size and in the same industry. So we do know what is the best practices, what good looks like, and we are able to share that with our customers.
Yeah, that's great. And I think the last question from me, and I'm just checking if we've got anything else through. I don't think we have actually. What in your experience, right? What type of sort of returns on investment have you seen? How much sort of saving, efficiency, whatever you want to call it, have you seen in organizations that have adopted automation?
So first, everybody that is here and interested can go on our website and look at our success story. I can share one story that will demonstrate that. We partner up with York Shore Hospital, General Hospital in Canada. They are a government entity, so they are looking at their FTEs, full-time employment. And when they came on board, they were already suffering 25% of people missing. And during COVID, it was even increased to 50. So in automation, what we succeeded to do with them is able to free time from the people where they're missing FTE were reduced to about 10%. And we were able to save them, we usually calculated to money, and it was over $180,000 per year that we put back. We felt really, really good because, they're supporting about 500,000 people in the range of Toronto. And we felt good that we are contributing in the times of Corona back to people. We usually don't see that, so we were very excited we were able to do that.
Yeah, that's great. Really, really cool. Well, Sarah, thank you very much indeed for that. It's been great to listen to, again, those sage words. Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do something like this again very soon. So thank you for joining us, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No worries at all. Thank you. Good stuff. And just before I think we close for today, another reminder about our forthcoming ITSM Tool Demo Day, focusing again on automation. So another great opportunity to come and join us and see some of the ITSM tools that we talked about in action. So we'll hope that you'll be able to join us